Ubuntu 22.04 LTS is the 9th long-term support version of Ubuntu, comes with a lot of new features and changes. As long-term support releases receives ongoing application updates and critical security fixes for 5 years from release. It also receives periodical new Linux kernel releases and graphics driver updates. Overall support for Ubuntu 22.04 LTS ends in 2027. After this date, it's likely that extended support maintenance for a further 3 to 5 years. ESM updates aren't automatic and require enrolling a computer in for Ubuntu Advantage or Ubuntu Pro, which is free for home users. Let's take a look at the highlight of Ubuntu 22.04 LTS Jammy Jellyfish. Ubuntu 22.04 LTS using a customized GNOME 42 version. So not all GNOME 42 changes will be reflected here. The new version of GNOME has better settings with regards to colors and themes, including dark theme. The new dark theme is better respected across desktop applications and adheres to a standard of colors that make more sense. GNOME 42 also makes use of libadwaita and GTK4, so expect things to be looking a little different. The newest version of GNOME will introduce a new screenshot tool, new terminal and text editor. Since Canonical employs a custom version of GNOME, we have to see if all these new settings will carry over to Ubuntu 22.04. We can also expect a new version Yaru GTK theme with a new option to choose an accent color. Yaru is a default theme for the Ubuntu Linux developed by user community. Ubuntu 22.04 LTS by default using the GNOME Wayland session when running the NVIDIA proprietary driver. The caveat limitation is that's only the case when using the NVIDIA 510 series driver or newer, and not when using any of the older legacy driver branches. The NVIDIA 510 series driver especially is in good shape for Wayland, and especially with the well-tested GNOME Mutter Wayland compositor. NVIDIA's Wayland support is even in good shape for gaming, and in 2022, it makes sense defaulting to the Wayland session when using this latest and current stable driver series. Ubuntu 22.04 LTS powered by Linux Kernel 5.15. Linux Kernel 5.15 brings several essential improvements. Usual new driver and hardware updates across processor, GPU, network, file system families. This kernel also brings the fast NTFS3 driver from Paragon Software, mainlined in this version. Other notable benefits of this kernel are Apple M1 SoC support, in-kernel SMB driver, Realtek Wi-Fi driver support for RTL81, 8080U chipset and more. The light theme is the default, so technically you don't need to set it. Selecting the dark theme makes the GNOME Shell UI dark, as well as GTK applications. The light and dark settings are also more logical. Light modes make almost all parts of the UI light, while dark makes everything, including the shell theme dark. Ubuntu 22.04 offers 10 shades to choose from, including the default and iconic orange. And it will always be the favorite one for users, while reflecting Canonical's brand style. The ones included at present are derived from the Yaru color palette. Changing the accent color affects more than just the Yaru GTK theme too. The accent color preference affects parts of the Yaru icon set and is respected within the Yaru GNOME shell theme. The newest version of the Yaru GTK theme, for instance, while it doesn't deviate too far from what we're used to, it is now clearly echoing the look of upstream libadwaita with circular window controls, increased border radius, and soft gray header bars. The Yaru GTK theme, icon set, and GNOME shell themes adapt to changes in GNOME 42. For example, the shell theme no longer uses callouts and applet pop-ups. Applets are more compact. System settings on Ubuntu 22.04 introduce new multitasking option and new Ubuntu dock option. In multitasking, you can enable and disable hot corner and active screens edges. Also, how do you present the workspaces and application switching in single monitor and multi-monitor? In Ubuntu Dock, you can change icon size, position of dock, enable and disable panel mode, enable and disable auto-hide the dock, and how show dock when you are using multi-monitor. A brand new screenshot UI is included, which can be accessed at any time by pressing the Print Screen button on your keyboard or launching the screenshot action from the app launcher. When you right-click in Desktop, you can see the desktop icon's context menu more stylish compared previous release and added several menu items. In the context quicklist menus for pinned dock items are now rounded following of GNOME shell theme. And on-screen displays, for example volume, screen brightness, workspace switcher, have been overhauled to be less conspicuous. Each new release of Ubuntu comes with a custom-designed desktop background that features the codename mascot, in this case that's a jellyfish, in the middle of Default Wallpaper. There are two variants included by default, the full-color version with geometric style as default wallpaper and an optional grayscale version. Also include 3 wallpapers from the recent Ubuntu wallpaper contest. Ubuntu 22.04 ships with a slew of new power management features including 3 power modes: Power Saver, Balanced, and Hardware Dependent Performance. Modes can be set or accessed via the power panel in System Settings or selected from the new Power section in the main status menu. Firefox, the default web browser on Ubuntu 22.04 now be included as a snap package by default. While you can install the deb package by downloading it separately, Ubuntu recommends snap. This is a joint effort by Canonical and Mozilla to simplify the maintenance of Firefox across distributions, enhance security, and facilitate faster security updates. Additionally, on the other hand, Ubuntu 22.04, Jammy Jellyfish, promises a performance boost for Raspberry Pi 4 users, implementing features like swap, LZ4, and Z3 Fold, which should provide for a smoother Ubuntu desktop experience on the Raspberry Pi 4 model with 2 GB of RAM. That is the highlight of the Ubuntu 22.04 long-term support version, although Ubuntu 22.04 release date is only 2 years newer than the previous LTS release, such as the move to newer versions of the Linux kernel and GNOME. As a result, the user interface looks excellent and feels smoother in operation than the previous LTS version. Ubuntu remains a lightweight, portable OS for home users, students, and developers alike. Anyone looking to embrace the open-source lifestyle or who wants a break from the world of Microsoft, Apple, and Google should try it out. For more details about Ubuntu 22.04 release you can read on the official Ubuntu 22.04 release notes.